Hi, this is Darren Bernard of Poor Boys Crafts. Today we're going to attempt to make a Viking ship. Got everything before me that we're going to need. First thing you're going to need, of course, the poster board. This is the foam board that you use. You're also going to need some paper plates or wooden circles. Either one will work. Paper plates is cheaper. You're going to need a foam sheet of foam board. These you can get at Walmart. I picked them up on clearance for $3.49, but you can get these at Dollar Tree for like 3 of them for $1.25. No biggie. Some tongue depressors. You can get them at Walmart for like $1.97 for a pack of them. Same way with these little things here. You can get them for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. That's all the stuff you're going to need to make it. Now, the equipment you'll need a pair of pliers, a pair of scissors, a glue gun, an X-Acto knife, and I picked these up at Dollar Tree as well. If you saw my first video, I picked them up today. But it has a decent knife in it. It has a lot of different blades you can use. $1.25, real cheap, real easy to make. And of course, I also got a big gun here. I got it heating up, ready to go. But you can pick these up I picked these up at Dollar Tree for $1.25, which are real handy and real easy to use. But I'm going to use my big gun today because I like a lot of glue. And don't like to burn myself, but I do that anyway too. But anyway, you also need a sharp pencil. You'll need that, and we'll go over that as we go. But I'll get all this stuff cleared out of my way, and we'll start. First thing we'll do, we'll need the base of the ship. We want to start that on this one here. We're going to make ours, since I'm a D&D player, we go off 1 inch equals 5 feet. So 1 inch square equals a 5 foot square. So we're going to go off that model. So I'm going to make this 5 inches wide. And according to nautical science, any boat that's 5 inches or whatever it is wide, you got to make it 3 times as long. So it'll be 5 inches wide by 15 inches long. So grab yourself a ruler, and we'll mark out 5 inches all the way up. Then we'll mark that down. Now, kids, if you're trying this at home, make sure that you have your parents' help when you're doing the cutting. But you take your X-Acto knife with the blade. This is very sharp, so be very careful. And cut right along that line. Do it as neat as possible. Boom. We have the first start. I'm going to take this, put it away for right now. This is what we're going to start on. Now we got our 5 inches wide, so now we're going to go 15 long. Mark it here. My ruler that I have is 18 inches long, so it's a little longer than normal rulers, but you can use a 12-inch ruler and just mark it. If you got it at the 12, you'll mark it at the 12, and then bring this down and mark it 3 more inches, which will put you at your 15. But, whoop, done making a mess over here. Okay. Then we'll mark it here. Now we'll cut again along this line. And now we've got a body started. It is 15 inches long by 5 inches wide. Again, we'll move that out of the way because we don't need it for right now. Now we're just going to peel off the top layer. We're going to leave the bottom layer on. Sometimes this stuff comes off real easy. Sometimes it don't. Whee! Kind of fun to do this. Oop, there it is. Now you don't have to worry about getting all of it off because we are going to be painting this at the end of it. I'll take the thing in here. Grab a hold of that, pull her down. Just get enough of it to make it look pretty neat. Now remember me talking about that you need 1-inch squares for graphing for D&D. That's what we're going to do with this right now. So we'll take our pencil again, draw it on here, mark every inch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, that one's the 5. Go to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, find your marks. Run down it. Find your marks. Run down it. Find your marks. Run down it. And I broke my pencil lead. I'm going to have to get another pencil. Oh, there we go. Always keep extra pencils just in case, because pencil leads break. That's just part of life. There we go. Now, go along the width of it. Marking every inch. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and of course 15's at the end. Don't have to worry about marking it. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Go ahead and measure them up again. And we will soon have our graph to begin our boat. Now, if you'll notice, the boat is kind of bowing a bit, but that ain't going to matter none. It'll actually straighten out as we get going. Okay? Now, again, if you've ever seen a Viking ship, it kind of looks like a banana almost. So what we're going to do, we're going to find the center, which is 2.5. Mark it. And we're going to come down about 4 inches. And then we're just going to kind of freehand this. And bring it down 4 inches, kind of freehand it there on one side. And it doesn't matter if it's perfect, because this is your craft. Everything's going to be a little different to whoever does this. You just want to kind of curve it around. As long as it's close, that's all that matters. Like I said, remember, this is your craft. This is your thing. So, and it'll look something like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Measure. That's my dog's throwing a fit over there. Come down 4 inches. Now, you've already got your marks, so you know just about where 4 inches is. Again, kind of just freehand it. On the other side, do the same thing. Make it kind of look nifty. Then you want to take your knife and you're going to carve them out. until you have something that looks like that. See how you got your graph on this side, and of course you got the black paper on that side. Now again, you notice it does have a little bow up on each side, but again, that ain't going to matter none. Now we're going to save these pieces because we might need them. So, but now, again, you got to remember is that the old Viking ships were made out of wood. So we got to make this look a little bit like wood. So what we're going to do is we're going to take us a pencil and just very lightly, we don't want to go as deep as these other cuts are made, but just very lightly squeeze into the foam board what looks like boards. Okay, see how we do that? Now it doesn't have to be perfect. You can make them long or fat, little, big, because all wood is different. All planks are different back in the day. They didn't have a 2x4s, a 1x6, they had 1x6.5, they had different sizes. They just put it all together, and now a really good carpenter would try to get as close as they could, but a lot of times it was different. And then you'll get something that looks like that. Now again, we got it, looking similar to it, but just put a couple little marks in between to separate the wood a bit. Make it look like they're not long pieces. Something like that. Gives a little bit of look to it. And then we will, pardon me for a second, I'm going to get a wire brush. Now these they sell at Dollar Tree, 3 in a pack. But it's a little wire brush, and we're going to rub with the grain of it. And what this does, that makes it look like wood. And I'll give you a close-up look at it as soon as I'm done here. It'll give it a wood grain. See that? Makes it look like a wood grain in there. Looks going to look really good once we paint it. Now, next thing is get her to flatten out. Way we're going to do that, we'll set this aside for right now. Come back to our big sheet. We're going to make the sides of the vessel. We're going to go 3/4. Don't do it with the knife, do it with the pencil. Three-quarters. Now I'm going to need 2 strips, 1 for each side. So I've marked 1. Here's the second one. Now I'm going to cut them out. There we go. Get rid of this one again. Now I'm going to cut this one down the middle here that I've already got marked. Both of these will be 3/4 long. Now you notice these are longer than the ship itself, but that's okay. We can cut them off after we're done. Now this one we're going to peel off both sides. Because both sides are going to show on this. go. Do the same thing for the other one. There we go. There we go. Now again, we're going to make this look like wood. Now this one I'm just going to freehand right down the middle. It ain't going to be pretty, but that's going to give a little bit more detail to it on both sides. That's going to give it a couple boards, make it look like two boards together. Same way with the other one. It just saves some time and makes it a little bit more your own. Okay, just like that. Then I'll take my brush again, rub down it. Both sides. And then I'm also going to do the top, because that part is going to see. You're going to see that. So you'll want that. And then you'll do the same on this one. Get that a little bit. Now, them sides will be ready to go. Oh, forgot the top. Can't forget that top. Okay, now them two will be ready to go on here in a second, but I want to come back to this because I've got a few things to add to this. Remember that square we cut off earlier? If you seen a longboat from a Viking before, you know they normally have like a dragon head. So we're going to freehand something that looks, get a pencil again, something that looks like a dragon head. First off, peel off that so we've got a nice white thing here. And again, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is your thing. So it can be anything. So that's what mine's going to look like, pretty much like that. And on the other side, I'm going to give it a back, a stern. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little thing here, approximately about the same size. Make it look like something like that. You know, like I said, you can make any kind of design for the front and back. If you just want to make a little straight piece, fine. That's fine. This is your craft. You can do whatever you want, and you don't have to be perfect on it. By no means. That's a great thing about crafts, and it's a great thing about art. It's all you. You are the artist. You are the craft maker. That's what I like about crafting, and that's what I like about art. There is no wrong or right way to do anything. It's all about the person doing it. Right there, that'll be fine for right back there. main part and kind of trim it up a bit. There we go. Peel the back layer off of it. And that's my front. So now this right here, that's about just a little less than 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to notch about that much out of the tip. Just like that. And try to get it to go down in there. Just about like that. We're going to leave a little bit sticking out. Now that's going to be for this to attach to. Just like that. Then we're going to do the same for the back side. Now you might have to work with it a bit to pull that out and put that in. Now if it sticks further out, doesn't matter, because, you know, most boats will do that. So now we're going to attach them permanently. So get your glue gun out, stick a little bit of glue on there, attach that in. That will glue on there. Do the same to the front. And now you got yourself started a boat. Okay. And like I said, we made these longer than the boat. So we'll start by putting a little bit of glue right on the back. Just a little run of glue. Making sure we got the top piece that we trimmed. Holding on. Just like that. Right there. We'll hold that till it dries a bit. Then we'll run some more glue down it. Bring that around to it. Perfect. Beautiful. Hold that back with your cheek if you have to. Glue that. There we go. Beautiful. Come back here, put a little bit more glue. Hold it in place. Kind of smooth out your spots. Be careful though, it is hot. Now before we glue any further, we're going to bring this around, figure out where we're going to be at, mark it, bring that mark around, and then cut it. Now that's going to take us all the way around to our piece. Now we might have to do a little bit of trimming. Bring that around till it's proper. That's proper. And then we'll just run a bead of glue right down to it and onto the main area. And glued in place. And then we're going to repeat it on the other side. Sometimes around the circle parts you'll have to hold it to get it to hold. A couple of, about 30 seconds or so. And like I said, be careful because that glue is hot. Okay. There we go. And this is what you got after you got all that in there. See how it's tightening out now? It will flatten out. Okay. Now, the next piece, you notice in most of the Viking ships, they'll have a walkway, a raised walkway right down the center. So that's the next piece we're going to work on. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Got about 13 inches in there. It's a total of 15 inches long, but the 2 inch or 1 inch on either side is kind of little, and we want to leave a little gap here. So we're going to go, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's go 11 inches by 1 inch. Okay, so I do believe I got a piece here marked 1 inches. Yep, this one's already marked 1 inch. And it's marked at 12 inches, but we don't need 12 inches, so we're just going to go 11 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that on here. That way, we can go ahead and cut this down. And this is going to be our walkway. There we go. Take the wrapping off of them. There you go. There we go. Go ahead and mark out our graph on here. I guess, seeing as how we're doing Dungeons and Dragons theme here. Like I said, on the graph ones, we're going to push deep with our pencil so that it goes deep. And then when we're trying to do our wood grain, we'll go light. That way you'll be able to tell a difference. There we go. And we will get my brush. This one, we're going to do both sides. Now on this one, we're going to make a mark down all three of them. That way it looks like 4 boards. And it's these little details that people are going to look at your craft and go, that is cool. And we'll kind of mark in to make it look like wood. See how I did that? Now that don't look like much now, but once we get paint to it, it looks awesome. So we'll do that. Alrighty. That's taken care of. Now, what we're going to do here is that last inch we cut off of there, I'm going to cut them into 4 blocks. Now, these don't have to be perfect. They don't even have to be cleaned off. Because we're going to take them and I'm going to stack them.